So you're going to inhale and your hands open at the top, and you exhale and you bring your hands back to position one. So starting position is fists by the shoulders. Second position is hands open at the top, and then you come back. Okay, so it goes like this. I'll just demonstrate. Okay, good. So let's do it together now. We'll close our eyes and we'll do 3 rounds of power breath. Take a breath in and exhale, emptying all the lungs, all of the air from your lungs, and begin. And relax. Second round, take a breath in and breathe out and begin. And relax. Hands in your lap, palms facing the sky. Eyes are still closed. Just noticing your breath. Noticing any sensations in the body. Third and final round. Breathe in and exhale. And begin. And relax. Hands resting in your lap, palms facing the sky. And now we'll do our mindfulness sound. We'll make the sound Om 3 times. Remember, this is a mantra that's uplifting. It's a sound that's uplifting and will make us better chefs in the kitchen when we're cooking. Take a deep breath in. We'll just meditate for a moment. And slowly and gradually, you can open your eyes. Okay, wonderful. All right, so let me show you what we have so far for our risotto. We're doing like a whole grain, whole farmer's market risotto. So I have a bunch of kale, and I have some sugar snap peas that I've chopped up, and some zucchini, okay? And then we also have to have our rice. So I have some risotto rice here. And I have my Parmesan. I have Pecorino Romano, which is sheep's milk based Parmesan. And I got all of this stuff just very close to my house at a farmer's market and Monterey Market. Okay, so you're gonna measure out 1.5 cups of rice and rinse it once. So I have my bowl and I'm gonna measure out my rice into it and then rinse the rice one time just to get some of the starch out. I know that maybe traditional risotto recipes don't call for that, but I rinse my rice every single time before I make it. So here we're sauteing the rice, the arborio rice, in 2 tablespoons of butter. So it's just for a minute or two. We want to kind of lightly toast the rice. So we're lightly toasting the rice. And then we're going to add 2 cups of water. Adding my 2 cups of water into the rice. I'm going to stir it. Now the trick with risotto is that you want to keep stirring it. So every 5 minutes you want to stir it. And the rice is going to take longer to cook than the veggies, so that's why you let the rice cook for however long it needs to cook. You can see that in your cook time in your on the back of your packet of your rice, and then measure that accordingly to, you want to put your veggies in about 5 minutes before your rice is fully cooked. So here we can see it's been about just 2 or 3 minutes since we added the water, and it's already starting to boil. We want to keep stirring. And I've already added my salt. And now I'm going to just cover it again for another couple minutes and then stir again in a couple of minutes. All right, so here's another cup. So I'm going to go ahead and pour that in. So this is the trick with risotto. You can't just walk away from it. You have to monitor it. I've set my timer now for another 5 minutes, and I'm going to cover this and let it cook. And in about 3 minutes, I'm going to add in my kale. And then when the timer goes off again, I will add in the spring veggies like sugar snap peas and zucchini. So it's been another 3 minutes. I'm stirring again. The water is just soaking up the rice. And I'm going to put in my kale now. There it goes. I have my kale risotto. Kale spring risotto. So I'm just gonna cover this, and in a minute or two the kale will be wilted and it'll be really easy to stir inside. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cover this back up. And the heat is on medium high. Oh, there goes my timer. I have 1 minute left until my timer goes off. So the heat is on medium high, and I'm just gonna leave this. All right, so it's been 3 minutes, and here we can see the kale has wilted. I'm going to stir it together. Looking very beautiful. So this is our kale risotto, kale spring veggie risotto. All right, now now that I've incorporated my kale, I'm going to put in my one last cup of water. So it's looking like very liquidy. However, this rice is going to soak it all up. So now I'm going to put the lid. Oh yeah, I have to add my veggies. So let me do that too. I've set my timer again for 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add in my spring veggies. So those are veggies that will take very little time to cook. So I have some zucchini and sugar snap peas. Just gonna kind of spread them out. And the last thing I'm gonna add in is shitake mushroom. And just kind of push it down. I'm making this in a huge saute pan. You can use a pot. I just made it in this so it's easier to see for teaching purposes, but you can use a big pot. So here I'm going to cover it and let it cook for another few minutes. Okay, so it's been a couple of minutes. My timer is going off. Let's check it out. So I'm going to just stir this up a little bit. Oh, I want to put my timer on for 5 more minutes. Okay. So here it's been about 5 minutes. Maybe it's been 3 minutes since the veggies were put in. I'm just kind of stirring them in, and I want to let this cook for another last 5 minutes. And now I'm going to put my cheese in. Wow, this is looking very nutritious. Okay, so here I've added in the cheese, and I'm going to just stir all of this in and let it cook for the last 5 minutes. So you can see the rice is fluffed up, and we want everything to sort of incorporate itself. And I'm also going to lower the heat.
Would it be nice to add a little lemon, or is that going off script?
You can go off script.
Yeah.
Up to you. I'm just making this very classical risotto, which is like a kind of classic farm to table risotto. Yesterday I made a brown rice risotto, so I was totally off script there. I mean, this is an off script recipe. We're not putting chicken broth. There's no onions. There's no white wine. It's more of a kid-friendly risotto recipe. And for me, I'm not really a fan of cooking with onions, garlic, or wine. And so it's more like a Chef Neelam friendly and Bliss Belly Kitchen friendly recipe too. So I'm gonna now turn down the heat to medium low, and I'm just gonna let this cook. And when the timer goes off, I'm gonna just shut it off and let it sit for 10 more minutes, and then it'll be done. Okay, so here we've turned the heat off, and I'm gonna let it sit for 10 minutes. I'm gonna give you all a sneak peek of what it looks like. There it is, very beautiful, creamy. It's gonna come together in these last 10 minutes. You just wanna let the heat be off and kind of let the rice kind of steam itself. The heat from the stove and from the rice will just do the last little piece of cooking, and then you can enjoy. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes, so I'm going to unveil the risotto. What? Here it is. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. I'm just gonna stir it. I just have to stir it again. Wow, it's like super thick and rich, full of veggies, creamy, and we use no garlic, no onions, no nightshades. Well, we did use shiitake mushrooms, but those are also have some good medicinal qualities. So it's completely Ayurvedic and high in prana. And now I have to taste some. So let me go ahead and grab a spoonful. All right, so here I have my risotto. Let's see how it tastes. So it's still hot. Wow, it was really good. It's really good. Here, you can have a taste too.